Good morning, everybody. It is Kat from Cat Stitch in New Zealand. How are you going today? For those that are joining us for the first time, joining me for the first time, I should say, welcome on board. Be prepared. Today might be a little bit discombobulated. My big word. Okay. And a little bit weird because I still haven't been to sleep yet, and it's just after. It's about 6:30 this morning. And I just sort of thought, I might as well just do this now. And we'll see how we go. You'll find I'm not overly scripted. Never know what I'm going to do, and I do sometimes go off tangent. But if you like what you see, please make sure you subscribe and ring the little bell so you know when I post it. It's usually every 2 weeks. For those that are coming back, thank you guys very much for joining me again. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate the comments that I get and the feedback that I get as well, not only on here but also on my Instagram. I'm also Cat Stitch on there as well. Now hopefully I'm looking at the right end of the camera, and chances are I'll keep looking in the wrong place, but there we go. Okay, so today is Sunday the 25th of September, so the last Sunday in September. I think this is number 20. I think it is. I should have checked. I didn't. Dang it. Okay, never mind. We'll find out when I put it down below. Now today, WIP parade. A fortnight ago with my last one, I had picked out a few designs that I thought I'm just going to work on these ones. And then on Tuesday, just gone, I thought, oh, I wonder if I'm able to put like 100 stitches on every WIP that I've got. It was good intentions, and if I'd actually stuck to doing 100 stitches on every one, I probably would have done it. But I would sometimes get carried away and do more than 100 stitches because I was enjoying working on it. So I didn't quite get to all of them, but I got to most of them. So that's good. I did have plans yesterday. I had my daughter and granddaughter come for a visit, which was lovely. And they came down because my granddaughter turns 11 in a couple of weeks, and I won't be able to get up there for her birthday. So they came down here. My daughter stopped at the supermarket and brought some, some meats and cold, and salad, and brought me some beautiful fresh fruit and veggies from my hometown. A lot cheaper up there. Lovely big box full of fruit and veggies for me, so I'm very happy. So I'll have those to indulge in over the next few days. And they didn't leave until about 2 o'clock or just after 2. And I had thought, oh, look, I'm just going to have a bit of a rest and tidied up. I've got a lot less pillows, so that's given me incentive that I'm going to have to definitely do some more FFOs for my pillows because my daughter and granddaughter took a selection back home with them. So I thought I'll just have a bit of a rest, and then I'll iron. I'll start ironing all of the WIPs so that they look nice for today. So I'd sort of reached the point where, okay, now I'm ready to do it. I'd gathered them all together, power cut. No warning, everything switched off. I was like, right, okay, well, we usually only have a power cut for an hour or so. So I thought, yeah, no worries. I'll feed the animals, and I'll have something for tea, and then I'll do the ironing after dinner. 6:30, the power still wasn't on, and I was like, oh. And I was a little tired because I hadn't had a nana nap like I was going to. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll have my nap now. Now the lights and everything came on at 8:30. So I thought, okay, and I was still a little groggy because it did wake me up. So I did have a nap for 2 hours. Which was surprising. But then again, I'd only had about an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep the night before. So I sort of thought, oh, look, I'll make myself a cuppa and just chill out with the animals for a little bit, and then I'll do the ironing, or I'll start getting myself more organised for the for today's recording. And by about just after 10, I thought, oh, yeah, okay, let's get this set up. So I went and set up the iron, got it all plugged in, all ready to go. Power turned off again. I was like, are you joking? Really? It's like, you sod. And I just sort of thought, okay, guess what? We're not going to iron. It's like, I hate ironing at the best of times, but obviously this was just like a sign telling me, stop, don't bother, don't iron. So just giving you a heads up, nothing's ironed. And then I sort of got carried away going through the designs that my daughter has picked out for me to do for her next month. That's going to be part of my plans for how I'm going to look at the rest of the year, and my thoughts on my no new starts and that sort of thing. But we'll talk about that later on. And so I, about 5 o'clock this morning, I was starting to think, should I just go and record it now and get it over and done with, and then I can edit it later on, and I can post it up at around about the normal time. Oh, Bobby's out of bed. And so I hummed and hawed about it, and then by 6 o'clock I thought, I'm not going to go to sleep, so I might as well get up and I'll go and do it now. So do you want to come up here? Okay, here, excuse me guys, I'm just going to move the camera. There we go. So we're just going to reposition. Sorry, I have to move so that there's room for Bobby. Come on. Okay. Sorry guys, you should know by now, Bobby rules. If it's not Monkey, it's Bobby. Okay. So anyway, so let's get into this, shall we? Because it's already been nearly 7 minutes. So what I'm going to do, the order I'm going to do it is I'm going to show you the ones that I didn't get a chance to do any extra stitches on, as the first lot of my WIPs, and then I'll show you what I did work on. I like inserting pictures of the cross stitches. The reason being is that when I'm watching a FlossTube and people are holding up the things and they're talking about the glare and all that sort of thing, my eyes don't always have enough time to focus on it by the time it gets to a point where I can actually see it properly. Whereas people who insert pictures, I can see straight away what the picture is. So I prefer to do that, and makes me feel like I'm actually doing something with the film, because I'm actually editing it by inserting those, and I was quite proud of myself for figuring out how to do that. So that's the only editing I tend to do. So I don't have notes because I couldn't print them up, because obviously no power, printer wasn't going, and now I can't get the stupid printer to work. So bit too much for this time of the morning, I think. So let's get into this. So these are the ones that I have not touched since last time. You might have seen them, because I know that I have sort of shown them more recently, but as this is a WIP parade and they're part of the WIPs, they're getting shown again. Now this is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's Potions and Spells. Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World is also working on this one. She's hoping to finish it by the end of the year. So I'm about 25% in. Now hang on, if I come over this side, there we go. I don't know how this is going to work. So this is, I think my camera's run the wrong way. I don't know. I'm hoping that this is not going to end up upside down. But there we go. So that's where I'm up to. So it's just the top left corner that I've finished, and I've done the back stitching of it as well. So it is all completed in that corner. Oops, just going to fold that up properly. Now the fabric is an opal fabric. I don't know what the name is, but I believe it's Mystic Fabrics is the designer. And I love that fabric. It is really good. I keep on thinking it's Aurora, I think. Not 100% sure. Hello, monkey. The other one that I still haven't worked on this week, I'm just trying to find a place where I can put this where monkey won't sit on it. There we go. And I did pull it out. I did. I even put it onto a frame, onto the Q-snap. But when I went to stitch on it, it just didn't call me. And even though I wanted to do 100 stitches on everything and all that sort of stuff, I just couldn't. So this is Primitive Hair, Witchy Tea Time. Now it is available on the Primitive Hair Etsy page as well, but I got mine out of Just Cross Stitch magazine, Halloween 2014, I believe. So this is where I'm up to with this one. I have chosen my own colours because, crikey, it's hard to sort of see. There we go. The colours that were, I mean, I don't know if the Etsy one has like a DMC conversion with it or anything like that, but the pattern out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine book had threads that we don't have in New Zealand. So, you know, I had to base the colours and everything on the image of the design. And that's what I did. The other one I just about pulled out, but I was having a couple of issues with my eyes the day that I pulled it out, and I was struggling, so I wasn't able to work on it any further, and that is a Black Cat Inn by Sub Rosa, so that's where I'm up to. So still just with the cat. So I still have the other two cats, the hotel, and this motif to finish across the top and to do down the bottom as well. Although I don't know if I'm going to do it down the bottom. I'm iffy about that. But we'll see. Because it is a beautiful motif. So that hasn't gotten any further in the last 2 weeks. The other one that hasn't gotten any further is Nora Corbett's Miss Ladybug. And this is getting stitched on, the Witchy Tea Time is on just an ivory 14 count opal, and the Black Cat Inn is a 25 count even weave in ivory. Now this is Lemongrass. It is 14 count opal fabric, and it is by Mystic Stitch. No, sorry. Yeah, no, Mystic Fabrics. Oh my gosh, here we go. So I haven't added any more to her. I just about was going to, but then something else came up and I didn't pull her back out. And then the last one I didn't do any extra on in the last fortnight is the Grim Cell by Clouds Factory, which is this one here. It was a 2020 release, I believe. I'm not sure if there's an actual name for this fabric, and oh my gosh, I got a thread out of it. Okay, please just ignore the thread, because I think I did actually start to contemplate doing something. Oh my gosh, it's even got a needle on. See, now I would have seen all this if I'd done any ironing. I'm just going to quickly poke that up the top corner. I think I did pull it out, and I did maybe 10 stitches, and then I got distracted, and I didn't get back to it. So this is where I'm up to still. So this is part 1. So it's 1 there. That's part 2. I think that's 3 and 4, or that might have been 3 and then that's 4. So I just added a few extra stitches down the bottom of the castle there, I think, from the last time you saw it. But oh my god. Okay. Those were the big ones. How do you guys show off the big ones? And it's just a nice pale yellow fabric, which works really nicely with it. Okay. So those are the ones that didn't or barely did get touched in the last 2 weeks. So now we're on to the ones that I did actually do something on in the last 2 weeks. I'm really not happy with how this camera's sitting. Here we go. Maybe we need to move it that way a bit. Sorry guys. Here we go. This is my 3rd take and I'm not going to start it again, so oops. You know, if I wanted to be in the film industry, let's not finish that sentence. Okay, so the first one coming up is the stitch along or the start along, I should say, that I'm hosting for the Plum Street Samplers Cinnamon Stars. I absolutely love this design. I think it is gorgeous, and I have so loved seeing the starting and the progress and all that sort of stuff that I'm seeing. Make sure that if you want to do this one, you can start at any time, you know, just if you can make sure to use the hashtag Cinnamon Stars Sal22, so that I can find you. And I love going and having a nosy once or twice a week to see what everyone's doing and where they're up to. I've seen a finish already. It's like, oh my God. I'm feeling quite naughty that I haven't gotten anywhere near it and I'm the one hosting it. But here I am. Now, last time you saw it, I had literally just sort of done all of this, and I'd done the dungarees of the scarecrow, but I've filled them out and things like that. Star up here, and I've taken the fence line further along and added in the branches for where the little trees are going to go. And I really, really love this little scarecrow. I think I might have to do him individually on his own because I just think he's absolutely gorgeous. Now the fabric that I'm stitching it on is again a Mystic fabric. It's 14 count opal. It's sort of a bluey greeny grey colour, but it was not a named one. So, but I love how this is working with this particular design. So really happy, and that's going to get kept out and pulled out again. Even though I've got different plans for next month, this is one of the ones that's still going to continue on regardless. Okay, so this one, not a lot of extra. I'm struggling, and I think it's one that's going to actually get restarted on a different piece of fabric because I'm not liking how this is turning out. And it's Cottage Garden the Ferret. And I love this fabric, but it's just not right for this particular design, so I'm going to restart it. But I wanted to show you where I was, seeing I've started it, and it's a WIP, and I even added to it this last couple of weeks, just, you know, to see if, or this last week, just to see if maybe adding in some more colour or stuff like that will make it look better, and I'm still not happy with it. So instead of me struggling with it and wasting thread, I'm going to restart it on something a bit more plain. And it's getting stitched at the moment on Nice by Live and Die in LA, which is that one there. So that's where I'm up to, and that's all gonna, I am gonna just unstitch it all and salvage the fabric and restart. Now this next one is Colourful Rose, Sweet Annette on Etsy. Now it's getting stitched on Colour Cascade Peach and Pink, or Orange and Pink. Doesn't actually have a particular name. Now, interestingly enough, my daughter, who is very gothy and not overly girly, apart from her taste and scent, which is lavender and roses and stuff like that, I was showing her where I was up to on all my WIPs and stuff, and she really loves this one. So I'm thinking, well, this is going to probably end up with her. So it's Colourful Rose. That's where I'm up to now. So this week I filled in down here a bit, and I think it was about it. Yeah, I didn't do the 100, but that's where I'm up to. She really loves it, so I'm gonna work on that one in November. So the majority of these aren't going to get pulled out again until November, and that's because of my plans for next month. This one is Mill Hill Kit. I finally pulled it back out. This is Matilda, and it's part of the trilogy. And I've finished all the stitching on her, so I just need to do the back stitch and add on the beads, and she'll be done. So there we are. So I finished all the cross stitching. Just need to add on all the beads around here and do the back stitching and stuff like that, and then she'll be all done. I do have another one of the trilogy, which my granddaughter just about took off with today, but I've kept it, so that's good. Next up is With Thy Needle and Thread, Indigo Lane. Now, again, I'm choosing my own colours, stitching from Stash where I can. I mean, I am still buying a lot of threads and that sort of stuff, but they're just some, you know, things to intersperse, or also because there's a certain colour range that I want to use, and I need more of that thread. And also to start building up my over-dyed threads. So this one is where I'm up to now. So I filled in over here and over here as well this week. But I love this blue. Love, love, love the blue. Have I got that round the right way? I think it's supposed to be that way. No, it's not. It's supposed to be that way. Crikey. Oh, look, see, I'm onto it today. There we go. So, yeah, so I've done all of this down here and filled in those ones. And there's my favourite blue there. Now, what I did was I picked out this blue and then I based the other colours on this because I love that blue. The fabric is Jody Ree. I can't remember the name of it, but it is a Jody Ree fabric, as you can see. Beautiful. I think it's something like Fairy Garden or something like that. But love that. That might get pulled out for next month. The next one is the Gilded Cage by, I think is it Barrick Samplers. Now this is getting stitched on the same piece of fabric as Alice and the Mad Hatter. It was from the piece that my friend gave me to wrap my birthday present in this year. So it's called the Gilded Cage, and this is where I'm up to now. Again, I am choosing my own colours. Because interestingly enough, okay, so the, sorry, this week I basically did the cage and came down here a little bit. It wasn't until I finished doing all the cage that I realised I was using the wrong colour. But I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to unstitch it, you know. Go forward, not backwards. This one hasn't had pretty much any progress on, apart from adding what I think is maybe a too dark a purple, and I might have to unstitch it and choose a lighter purple for the cat. And that is the Ori TM Alice, and that's just the tree. So you can see the cat tail, and there's the bottom of the Cheshire cat there. But when I have a look at the picture on the cover, you'll see that the cat is purple. I think it's because of the colour of the wood that I've chosen for the tree. I've chosen a darker one. So I'm thinking I might have to change the Cheshire cat. But we'll see how it progresses. So I sort of didn't get too much further on that, but I did stitch on it. I think it was about 50 stitches is what I added on that one. Next is Prairie Schooler. This is on, that was on an unnamed piece, and I can't remember where I got it from for the Ori one. This one is a Mystic fabric. It was one of the like a grab bag where you get a mixture of stuff in. It's 14 count, a lovely blue, and I'm doing my Prairie Schooler, my first ever Santa and my first ever Prairie Schooler on it, and it is the 2000 Schooler Santa, and this is where I'm up to now. So last time you saw it, I'd just done the book, so I've added all of this. I was actually getting carried away. This was one of the ones that I kept on changing the thread and just carrying on because I was really enjoying it, which sort of surprised me because it's very Christmassy and it's so not me, but yeah. My oldest WIP, and I've worked it out when, because I've been trying to work out when did I start this dang thing. It was actually in 2000 and 2015 is when I started this, and it would have been around about middle of the year. I was up visiting my best friend, and I'd taken this brand new kit up with me, and I started it when I was up there. So now I have completely finished all the cross stitch, and I've started doing the back stitch. So I've started doing the hair and the arms, This is Ruby. Sorry, I should have added that. So that's what she's going to look like. You would have seen already that there's like a cord that I've got to do. They don't supply that, and I'm like, this may take longer than I thought to finish because I'll have to work out how to do that. I don't have one of those little cordy machines. I might just buy a piece of cord thread. Cheat. This one I had hardly started. It is Autumn Bouquet, I think, from Tralala. Or Bouquet d'Automne. Now, last time you saw it, I'd only literally done this and the border. So now I've added in this part here and taken it over to here. So I have done a little bit more on it, definitely. And I just about got carried away again before I remembered, hang on, you're supposed to be changing and going to a different one. This is on one of the new Judy refabrics. It is beautiful. I can't remember the name of it, but it's 14 count opal. But it's also one of their club, one of her club pieces. So if you do want to know, just leave a note down below for any of the fabrics that I might not mention or I can't give you the name for, because if it's a new fabric, I won't have a name on it. Okay. Next up is Luba Davies Atelier. Now I got this from Etsy, and it's All Hearts Come Home for Christmas. Now when my daughter saw this, she wants it. So she goes, oh, I'd love that. Very subtle. And this is getting stitched on Jody Ree Winter Queen. It's a 14 count opal. Okay, and this is where we're up to now. So I finished off the R this time. So I'm pleased with that. Was that long enough? Do I need to hold it up longer? It's going to be beautiful. So All Hearts Come Home at Christmas. This is going to be, honestly, I'm wondering if maybe I should stop and just come back later on when I've slept, but we're just going to go. We're just going to go with it. We're gonna just get on with it. Okay, now on the Halloween challenge page that I'm a member of on Facebook, we have a Wild Violet challenge this month, and there's giveaways and stuff, and it goes for 2 months. And it's basically, you know, any wild violet design. It doesn't have to be Halloween. It can be any, as long as it's wild violet. And so I went nosying and I picked 4 charts. I've finished 2 of them in the last week. And I've got 1 more to go. And then it's sort of the 3 starts for this month. And then I've still got the 1 left. And I've seen another one that I want to get. So I'm going to get the other one, and I'm going to have 3 next month as well. So I've actually seen another 2. So I'll have 3 for next month. But this is the only one that I haven't finished yet, and it's called Sleigh in the Wood. And this is where I'm up to now. So again, this is one of those ones that I got carried away with, because last time you saw it, I didn't even have all the tree in. So I am again switching out some of the colour. It is all silhouette, but I am using an over-dyed for the sleigh portion, and the rest is going to be the black DMC. Really, really loving this, and it's just getting stitched on a piece of opal, so it is sparkly, a bit grubby, cat fur and everything. It's a little sparkly. It's sort of a blue with a little bit of white. Unfortunately, I don't think the camera picks it up. You can see this is getting unstitched down the bottom, so I'm salvaging this fabric from another project. But you can see where there's like some white to it and stuff like that. And it's just a little bit more blue up the top, but there is still little patches of that white. And it's nice and sparkly, so that's where I'm up to so far. So that is going to get pulled out in the next week to finish off. I sort of think, yep, I can finish that before the end of the month. So that's in my don't put away anywhere cat pile. Because we're finishing that this week. Okay, so next up is one that, sorry, just dropped my board. Hang on a second. Please hold. There we go. Okay. My chopping board, because I don't have anything fancy for my boards. This is getting stitched on nice. The other piece of fabric that I said was Live and Die, that's actually Live and Die Sleepy Hollow. This is nice. Okay, so this is Plum Street Samplers. Count twice, stitch once. I count like multiple times, not just twice, and I still made mistakes on this one. It is definitely more of a challenge than I thought it was. It looked nice and simple. But this is where I'm up to now. So last time you saw it, I had just finished nearly all of the first bouquet. The only thing I hadn't done were the little white stitches in each of the flowers. So since in the last week, I've done the little woman, started the S, and did the most of the word count. And again, switching out some colours for what I've got in stash that looks pretty similar to it. So loving this. And when I finish the stitch, that design, that one is going over to the UK. Not that, but the chart. Okay, next up we've got Halloween Chic, and this is Madame Chantilly. And I'm loving this. I'm really loving this design. I'm using, I can't remember the thread. I've switched it out for it. It's one of my overdyes. I think it's a Colour Cascade. No, not Colour Cascade. Colourworks, I think. I'll have to double check. But Chic Halloween. And this, I'm stitching it on Jungle Vine from Jody Ree. It's a new limited edition one for August. So last time I had just done just this little bit down the bottom here of her dress and the pumpkin and the Halloween. And so this week I did this. So yeah, a little bit more than 100 stitches because I just kept on saying, oh, just get up to the next part. And I might as well just finish the dress. So got her dress finished, nearly. I still have this a bit down here, but I wasn't going to get another whole length off to do that. Actually, that's going to go on the... That's going to get finished in the next week. I did do 100 stitches on it, but I didn't get too carried away on this one. It is Not So Perfect Landing by Virginia Knutson, and I'm stitching it on another one of the new Jody Ree limited edition fabrics for this for the last couple of months. And I've again got an extra thread hanging off that I didn't finish. I think the needle came off and I just couldn't be bothered threading it again. So that's where I'm up to now. So last time I literally just had the brown and I didn't have any of the orange. So I've added that in. Whoops, where are we? Here we go. Oh my gosh, my camera work today is going to be crap. Sorry guys. So there we are. So that's coming along quite nicely. And again, picking my own colours from stash based on the colours that are in the photo of it, the picture of it. And then the last one I worked on, my last WIP. Wow. I don't have many WIPs anymore. It's so good. I came in this year with about 50 or so, I think. But yeah, close to 60 WIPs at the start of this year. After the 4 I finished in the last fortnight, I've had 79 finishes with these 4. I'm starting to think, should I aim for the 100? Should I aim for 100? But I've definitely met my challenge of completing 50 for turning 50. So there we go. So the last one is Alice in the Mad Hatter by the FlossBox. And I'm loving this design. One of the main reasons I haven't really done a lot on Alice by Ori TM is because I wasn't actually supposed to start that one until I'd finished this one. So it's an incentive to hurry up and finish this one before I start another Alice. And I've got another 2 Alice designs that I want to do, but I'm going to stick to my thing of no, can't start another Alice until I finish one Alice. So this is where I'm up to now. I now have Alice on there. Whoops, hang on. Here we go. So I've now got Alice down the bottom, and I've started doing the mushrooms down the bottom. I am missing a few threads, DMCs and things like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and just pick out a colour at the end that will work with it. I'm not going to go, you know, diving right now. So really, really happy with how this one is turning out. It probably would have looked better if I had ironed it. Sorry, guys. But there we go. Now the castle, or palace, that's all my own colour. I did a dive, and I actually picked a one that was very similar. I wanted it to be similar to the fabric, because I wanted it to look more ghostly, like in the distance sort of thing. So that's why I chose that sort of colour, so that it blends in with the background a little bit. So this one is getting pulled back out. This is one of those ones that's going to stay out. Oh, I do have one more. Oh my god, I can't forget it. Yeah, okay. So that one's staying out, and the other one that is just staying out permanently until I finish it is in its bag still, and this is the one that I'm doing in memory of my dad. Like I said, I was having a few issues with my eyesight this week, so working on 22 count wasn't really something I could do very much. But this is Remember Me. It was the Patreon one for September, the sample of September, for tiers 3 and 4. And I absolutely love it. Just got to move that around a bit. And it's still in the Q-snap because it's something that I'm just going to keep on doing whenever I can. I am trying to dedicate some time every Sunday to do at least 1 or 2 lengths of thread. So this is now where I'm up to. So I completed that motif because I'd only half done it. And then I've started the little motif down here with the same colour thread that was in that, which is why I got to carry it on down to here. One thing I have to remember to do is that I screwed this up. It's a symmetrical thing. So I've had to unstitch some of the little vine because it was going down here, and I want it to go up into the middle one because that middle one isn't supposed to be there. So yeah, so it's not supposed to be the same all the way around. It's not supposed to be circular. It's supposed to be a bit more squat. So there's a couple of extra rows, but that's fine. I'm happy to work around that. That's not a problem. So that is going back into there. And that one's getting kept out with those ones. On to finishes. So the first one that I finished after the last FlossTube was My Wonderful Grace by Barrick. I love this. I did change the colours. I'm even going to put up a picture of the original so that you can see where I've changed all the colours. This is stitched on Viteris by Mystic Fabrics in its 14 count opal Ada. Just trying to get it on here so it sits nicely. So I haven't done any of the prep stuff for it yet. So last time you saw it, I hadn't filled in the sky, the background on the sky. I'd only done maybe a third, if that, of the border flowers. So that's what I ended up. So there we go. That's where we're up to now. All done. So pale blue, and I did all the flowers. Really, really happy with that. Love that one. my daughter and I went through all my finishes today, and we put them into piles of how they're going to be fully finished, whether it's going to be a pillow, a stand-up, framed, or a wall hanging. So we were going through all that. I love it how she's telling me how I'm going to finish them, and I just need to figure out how to, but that's okay. Wait till I tell you what I'm doing next month. This one here is designed by the Witchy Stitcher. Welcome, Foolish Mortals. It's getting stitched on a Mystic Fabric 14 count. I think it's called Cassis or something like that. Or maybe it's a no-name one. I've done this one for my daughter. Now, last time you saw it, as you can see here, there was still a bit to go. And I finished it. So my daughter wanted purple eyes. The face itself is DMC Etoile 310. Welcome is Threadworks 11212. And Foolish Mortals is the Etoile as well. She wanted both. Because I said to her, so what do you want? Yep. So she told me what she wanted. So, and she wants it as a wall hanging. So I've only just sort of worked out how to do pillows and 2 flat folds. But hey, you know, why not? We'll add in a wall hanging. It can't be that hard. Lots of YouTube watching or finishing when I'm ready to do it. Now the next 2, one was finished on Sunday last week, and the other one was finished on Friday for a Friday finish. So they're both by Wild Violet. They're both stitched on pole stitches, and I think it was Midnight Mist. I think it's, or Moonlight Mist or something like that. But it's pole stitches fabric, 14 count. There we go. And it's Stagecoach in the wood. So last time, as you can see, there's a bit of work done on it. And I liked using the variegated thread. There's my Threadworks 11212 is the grey that I've added. The Stagecoach I've done in the Etoile, the black Etoile. The trees I've done in just normal DMC, so the border is all normal DMC. But the bats and the Stagecoach are Etoile, and then the greys that you see are the 11212. It'll look better once I bind it, trust me. But I'm really happy with it. I think it's lovely. And the fabric worked so well with it. Just absolutely perfectly with it. So I'm really happy with that. And then the other one, on the same piece of fabric, was just a smaller one. And again, this was, as you can see, this is what the design was supposed to look like. And this is where I was up to when I did my start, because these are all started September. So these are part of my September starts that I warned you I was not going to be able to leave. And this is the finish. If I can get this in the right place. So again, switched out colours because, you know, that's what I do. And I did make a couple of mistakes in the house with my counting. Hang on, I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm just going to fold this. We're going to do it this way because this is just really annoying. I don't know about you, but it's annoying the heck out of me. So that board can go. It's only a little one. There we go. That's better. Now I can hold it. There we are. How's that? So the tree is completely different. The leaves are supposed to be 2 different colours, and instead I used water lilies. I think it's called Enchanted Jewels, or I know that jewels is one of the words. The house is, I had it in my head just before, is a Gentle Art thread, and the smoke and the windows, or not the smoke, the wind and the windows is Etoile 550. Wicked Winds is done in my Threadworks 11212. I've got to order more of that because I love it. But I'm really happy with that. I think that's really cute and really cool. So that was my second Wild Violet start and finish. So that was really good. Because I've actually finished those two in order, because Stagecoach was the first one I started, then I started Wicked Winds, and then I started Sleigh in the Woods the next day. So that works out quite good. So there we go. So those are my WIPs. That's all I've got. I don't have as many as I thought, which is good, which means I do have a few extra empty bags, and I do have a few kitted up. Right. So on to my plans for next month. My daughter, who I love and adore, I said to her, do you want me to do you a few Christmas ornaments to give as gifts and things like that, just to help her out. And you know, handmade gifts are nice. Sorry, guys. And that sort of thing. And I mean, you know, she's similar to me. She doesn't know a heap of people, but she does know some. And so she said yes, and I sent her the cover pictures of all the ones out of the Just Cross Stitch ornament magazines from, you know, 2018, 19, 20, no, 19, 20, 21, 22, so 4 years of them. And I said, let me know. Now, I sent her those about July, I think. And then I sent her the 2022 ones about, you know, when it came out. I quickly took the screenshots of those cover pictures and sent them to her. I said, oh, you know, but if you can let me know soon would be really good, because I'd like to start some of them. Knowing how bar humbug I am with Christmas and that sort of thing, it's like, oh, this is going to be painful. She sent me a list, 28 Christmas ornaments. I said, darling, for that many, you needed to let me know sort of at the start of the year, not this close to Christmas, because then you wanted me to finish them as well. And that's usually a good few days of work to finish a lot of them. So I said to her, I said, so how many are actually for gifts and how many are for your tree? So it works out around about 10 are gifts and the rest are for her tree. I said, okay, so I'll focus on the gift ones first, and then I'll do some of the ones that you want for your tree too. And then if whatever I don't get finished, I'll just carry on working on 1 or 2 a month, so that next year you'll have a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments for your tree. So she was okay about that. So next month is Ornament October. Now, while I am doing those little ones, you know, those ones there, you know, some of my WIPs still next month, a very limited few will get done next month, because it'll be focused on making ornaments, on stitching all these lovely Christmas ornaments. I'm not going to do Halloween ones. I have a lot of Halloween-y already, so I don't need to really do any more Halloween ones. Never say never, because there's a couple there that I really would like to do. So that's what's happening in October. And then November, apart from one, there is going to be, is it? See, now it's got me thinking. Nicole from North Island Stitcher has a start-along happening. It is a Happy Mood Point start-along. And she's doing a particular design. I'm not going to do that design. I've chosen a different design that I want to do. And I said to her just the other day, because she'd mentioned it on her FlossTube this week. If you haven't watched it, go and check her out. You know, that, I'm thinking, is it November 16th? Or is it October 16th? Oh, geez. I don't have my book. Okay, but there's that coming up. And I thought, and I said to her, I said, hey, look, I'll join in. I wasn't planning on starting that at that time. I'll just put off till then to start it. So I'm starting my coffee Quaker sampler on Monkey. Cut it out. No. My coffee Quaker. Yeah. When that sale starts. Hello, monkey. Hi. What? Okay. And then, yeah, so November is going to see me doing finishes, fully finished. That's going to be my fully finished focus month. So no new starts in November. And it's just working on WIPs and fully finishing items. So that's going to be my November focus. We'll see. And then December is my decide month. So that's where I'm going to decide what I'm going to do in regards to next year. I'm seriously not really one to do the whole no new start. It would involve me having way too many starts now. I think no new starts are great for people that have a heck of a lot of WIPs. As you can see, I don't have that many really. So if I wanted to hit, and considering how many I can finish in a year, I don't think I need that incentive to do that. What I do is, because my tastes are changing and stuff like that, my access to threads and fabrics has changed in the last 2 to 3 years. So what I had back then, I have now completely dismantled, or I've put aside until I can think about it later. But December is going to be my month where I decide what I'm going to do next year. Not so much start them all, but to get my folder together of the projects that I want to work on next year, and have a couple of free pages in there. So everything I do has to come from the folder, but there will be some empty pages in there for things that might catch my eye through the year from new releases and that sort of thing. So those are my loose plans. October is definitely an ornament October. But I'm going to see if I can finish off a couple more of these WIPs that I've got as well. And last but not least is a bit of haul. It's not much this week. These are the threads that I got. I've already put them away, so I know we're supposed to keep them out and show them, but they're threads. So these are the threads that I got. And I went down to, there's a place in Lower Hutt called Pete's Emporium. Is it Pete's Emporium or Joe's Emporium? No, I'm sure it's Pete's Emporium. And I was just sort of looking for some, to start getting some Christmassy fabric. Because of all these ornaments, I need some more fabrics that will suit the Christmas theme rather than my Halloween ones. So I found this little one. It's lovely little holly berries and stuff. It's very cute. It's just nice and simple. So I thought that was quite cute. So I got a piece of that. But I couldn't pass up a couple of the Halloween ones. Now, they're not over the top. There's the bats. Now, if you check out North Island Stitches one from this week, you'll see that she's made a project bag out of this fabric. And it's like, oh, that fabric looks familiar, Nicole. And it looks beautiful. And she also made a project bag out of this fabric, which it's not over the top Halloweeny, but it's Halloweeny enough. It's I just like it. To me, it's quite elegant, and I think that's quite lovely. So she's also done a project bag out of those. I've really got to go around there for some lessons or something. Then they also had, and I've been looking for pom-pom ribbon over here. I mean, I want to get some black and all that sort of stuff, and that, but they had these down there. I know they're not, the classic ones or anything like that. But they'll work, and they're 3 meter, 3 meter spools of them, and it was only $2 each one. So those are the only 3 colours that I saw when I was down there. I was literally just dashing in to get the fabric, and I wasn't supposed to look at anything else. Because I also noticed when I spotted these lovely cords. Look at those. So I've got a one that's a bit more, lavender and a pink and very Christmassy. In the gold, and I've got one in the silver as well. I sort of figure I might as well start getting these sorts of things together, so that when I do my one, my finishes in November, I'm not going to use not having these sorts of things as a reason to not do it. And then I also got another little pack of these little buttons. They're only $1. So I got those. Just some simple ones because I have got some ideas of how I want to do some finishing. So yeah, so that is it. I don't really have anything else to say. The sun has come up. Well, okay, the sun hasn't come up. We've got miserable weather here, so it's pretty crappy weather. But it's a good day to curl up. I'm going to go and have a nap for a couple of hours. Either that or I'm just going to go straight and start editing and inserting the pictures and stuff. Otherwise, no, I'll probably have a nap for a couple of hours and get it edited and uploaded. If you do have any questions, I probably won't put all the information in down below straight away. Otherwise there'll be heaps of typos and I'll say the wrong thing and all that sort of stuff. But I will eventually come back and add all that information in. But if you want to know before then, just leave a comment down below. And I do definitely answer. I love getting the comments. You can check out you know, what I do and stuff. I don't really post a lot on Instagram. I'm still trying to understand that whole social media thing. But I do usually post when I have a finish on there, or you know, something interesting or stuff like that. I did have a bit of an accident last week because I'm a klutz and that sort of stuff. I fell down my back stairs and I heard something pop in my ankle and I sort of thought, oh well, at least it's not broken. So I hobbled back inside and I just rested it for the weekend, ice on it and stuff like that. It swelled, yeah, it swelled up nicely, and you know, the bruising went halfway up my leg, but it wasn't broken. It was just, I think I just popped a tendon from past experience. So I mean, you know, I still have to be careful how I walk on it, but I'm getting around and all that sort of stuff. I have a couple of things happening this week. I have a job interview on Tuesday, a virtual one. So we'll see how that goes, crossing fingers. And yeah, I think that's, oh, my flatmate's he's going house sitting for a week on Wednesday. So I've got the house to myself again for another week, which will be nice. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm like, whoa, okay, it's under an hour. I rock. This is a good, I thought it'd be longer because of the WIP parade, but it's all done. And I know I've probably missed things out and said things wrong and stuff like that, and I do apologize. I will put any corrections down below, or if I'm not overly clear on something, then please just yell at me. That's fine. I do want to give a shout out to a New Zealand floss tuber, Anne, from Fiction and Floss, I think it's called. I'll put that link down below. She's just done, I think, number 2, or I might have seen number 3 just pop up just before. But if you have a love of reading and a love of cross stitch, then she's fantastic to watch. Half of her floss is about, you know, books, and I got to admit I have noted down a few books I might have to actually go and hunt out because they look really cool. And so please go and say hi and, you know, welcome her on and enjoy her show. It is really lovely, and she does some lovely work as well, and that sort of thing. Okay. Also, make sure you go and check out North Island Stitcher, which is Nicole. She is again doing some beautiful work, and she went crazy doing project bags this particular week. It's like, OMG. It's like, I want some of those project bags. But no, so she did a great job. And then of course we have our lovely Judy from an Aussie and a Kiwi world. Again, showing some beautiful work, and yeah, there's more on my list. And actually she's enabled me because, as Nicole says, Queen of Enablers, I have actually ordered a set of the charts that Judy was showing. Like, thanks a lot, Jude. Really appreciate it. I really didn't need any more charts, but those are exactly what I wanted. So they're my seasonal charts. I've been trying to find ones that are what I want, and she got the whole set of Madame Chantilly, and I was just like, oh, dang it. So I quickly emailed Judith over at JK's, or Janet, sorry, at JK's and in Australia, and I said, are you able to get these ones? And so she's ordering them in for me. So I'll have that whole set too. Not all this. I just want the summer, autumn, winter, spring, maybe Halloween and Christmas as well, out of that series. And there was another couple, but I've added them to my list of ones to look. So thanks a lot, Judy. Really appreciate your enabling. The other ones I caught up with this week was Chrissy, finally a Farmgirl. I didn't actually watch a lot of FlossTube this week. I caught up on Saltbox Stitcher. I love watching Saltbox Stitcher. Really enjoy, she's probably the biggest influence of getting me interested in doing any samplers, in all honesty. So that was really cool. Just keep stitching. Caught up with them, of course. Creatively, another Kiwi. Caught up with hers. Knutson, Not by the Sea, Kiwi. Dizzy Stitcher. I watched a Stitch with Me and his latest ones, which I'm just in awe of how big some of those projects are. It's huge. Today I'm going to be catching up with a few that I've gotten behind on, so that'll be what I'm catching up with today when I'm awake. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I've taken it over an hour, my usual standard. If you do have any questions, please make sure you note them down below. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe, like, ding-ling-ling the bell, whatever it is. And make sure that wherever you are, you keep cool if you're hot, keep hot if you're cool. And don't forget, march to the beat of your own drum. That's where the magic happens. Toodles, guys. See you in 2 weeks.